My story begins on the evening of September 23rd, 1983, when I accepted Jesus Christ into my life. I was raised in the Catholic Church and I went to Catholic school. And I was taught about Jesus Christ, but I was never taught about the relationship that I could have with him. And I always questioned my faith growing up. And at one point in my life, I professed to be an atheist because it just seemed easier. So I lived a pretty wild lifestyle, drinking, doing drugs, and actually selling drugs. Even though I wasn't a believer, I always felt there was something missing in my life because I always had to fill my life with these superficial items. So I was empty inside. And when I was 30, one evening I was all set up to do some lines of cocaine and have a few beers. I sat down and began channel surfing, and I ended up on Channel 40, which is a Christian station. Why I stopped there, God only truly knows. I heard this preacher, Dan Schaefer, talking about those who miss the call of God on their lives. This moment struck me when he said those because I remember when I was 18, I felt the need to return to church. I went to the local Catholic church on Sunday, sat in the back row, and had only what I could explain as an encounter with the Spirit of God, tugging at my heart, and it brought me to tears. The problem was there wasn't anyone there to explain to me what had just happened. I went home doubting what took place, and I never went back. Anyway, what that preacher had said on TV was so powerful, and at that moment I finally realized what happened to me that 12 years ago. And once again, it brought me to tears. When I called the number at the bottom of the screen, they prayed with me and told me to get into a church. I found Anaheim Christian Assembly in the phone book. Some of you may remember what those are. And as I was walking up the front sidewalk to the church, a visiting pastor put his arm around me and said, "Young man, one day you're going to lead this church and going to do some great things." Of course, I was skeptical. But I truly gave my heart to the Lord at that first service. And in 1991, I became the senior pastor of that very church. And we did do some great things. With a church of 35 to 40 people, we fed over 400 people every Thanksgiving for several years, handing out groceries and clothing at the same time. We also held an international conference on HIV/AIDS, which was the pandemic of that time. Plus many other outreaches to the community and beyond. Now, I am the pastor of evangelism here at Grace OC. I have an outreach to the homeless, and I work with a church and some great people who I truly love. God continues to bless me. Has it all been a smooth trail? No. If things always ran smoothly, then we would never know or experience the love of God that will always run interference to protect us and guide us. God has given me life so that I might help others have that life. Jesus Christ can be the light in your life.